Okay, so let's get into it. So this is number 13, I think. Um, and as you can see right there, we are going to do a U.S. state. Um, so this one's going to be about the good state of Nevada. Now, fun fact, I can't say for sure just yet. I think we'll go with yeah, let's go with the blue for this one. Um, I actually might end up moving here um in the near future, but can't say for sure yet. But yeah, so we're gonna do Nevada. I'm gonna try to learn as much as I can, and yeah, let's beat this algorithm. Oh, another fun fact. So the person who made Dragon Ball Z just passed away. His name was Akira Toriyama, and a lot of people don't know this, but he actually had a cartoon before Dragon Ball Z, and it's called Doctor Slump, and it's really good. And they have all the episodes on Daily Motion. Like you can just watch it for free on Daily Motion. We did not get this in the United States. I know there's people in Mexico and like Japan, like they got this cartoon, but we didn't get this here. And I think it's because there's like a bunch of like scenes where this little girl's like nude. But it's like harmless because she's like 2 years old. She's like 6 years old. But outside of that, this cartoon is absolutely hilarious. So yeah, just like anyone who wanted to know, they got this on Daily Motion. All right, so let me get into this video here. Um, so we're gonna start with Britannica. Okay, history of Nevada. Let's go dark mode. Okay, archaeological evidence indicates that prehistoric Indian settlements existed in Nevada more than 20,000 years ago. Cave dwellers left paint picture writings on rocks in southern Nevada, and basket makers and Pueblo Indians also flourished there. What is a Pueblo Indian? What does Pueblo mean? That's a Spanish word, right? Okay, village. So village Indians. Okay. Um, cave dwellers. Da da da. Explorers of the early 1800s found Mojave uh, on Paita, we'll say Pite, and Shoshone and Washoe groups have various locations within Nevada. Okay, so it's like Indian like territory. So it's basically like Arizona. Okay. Missionaries and fur traders were in the vanguard of the exploration of the Nevada area. The missionary travelers of no, I said San Francisco. The missionary travelers of Francisco Garces of New Mexico to California in 1775 to 1776 were imitated by other Spanish Franciscans. In 1825, Hudson Bay Company trappers explored the northern central region, and 2 years later, Jedediah Smith led a party of American traders into Las Vegas Valley across the Great Basin. In 1830, the Old Spanish Trail was bringing traders to the area from Santa Fe and Los Angeles. And in 1843 and 1845, John C. Fremont explorations with Kit Carson publicized the Great Basin and the Sierra Nevada region. Okay, so basically they founded California before they founded Nevada. So they just kept going they got the coast, and then they literally like set up camp at the coast, and then they started backtracking through the country. It's crazy. Um, During the 1840s, pioneers followed the Humboldt Valley Donner Pass route to the Pacific coast and the gold rush of 1849 greatly expanded migration through Nevada to California. From Nevada to California. So up here they're saying they were coming from Los Angeles, and then over here they're saying the opposite. It says Nevada, which came within U.S. sovereignty under the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, was a part of California until it was incorporated into the newly organized Utah Territory in 1850. In 1849, a settlement was made at Mormon Station, later Genoa, in Carson Valley, but the population remained sparse until the discovery of the famous Comstock lode in 1859. What is that? Rich deposits of silver. Ah, okay. This is why they call it the Silver State. From that time on, Nevada ceased to be merely a highway for gold seekers on the way to California. Virginia City became the most famous of all the western mining camps. What the heck is Virginia City? Okay. A rapid influx of prospectors and settlers resulted in the organization of Nevada Territory in 1861. Okay, so this is the guy who founded Nevada, apparently. John C. Fremont. Wait, where am I? Okay. The American Civil War gave strategic importance to the new territory. President Abraham Lincoln realized that Nevada's mineral wealth could help the Union. He also needed a northern allied state to support proposed anti-slavery amendments to the Constitution and a strategic buffer zone to check Confederate advances against California from Arizona and New Mexico, whose people were sympathetic to. Hold on, let me read this sentence. This sentence is too long. President Abraham Lincoln realized that Nevada's mineral wealth could help the Union. He also, this is the same sentence, he also needed a northern allied state to support proposed anti-slavery amendments to the Constitution and a strategic buffer zone to check Confederate advances against California from Arizona and New Mexico. It's the same sentence. Whose people were sympathetic to a Southern cause. This is one sentence. Okay, so basically, um, he needed a state out on the West Coast that wasn't racist. Um, so although Nevada Territory had only about one-fifth of the population required for statehood, Congress accepted the proposed state constitution and voted for statehood in 1864. Okay, so he basically made it a state to get support to stop slavery. Cool. Uh, let's see. Mining and cow ranching decades. In its early decades, Nevada's economy was dependent on mining and ranching. The rich Comstock mines reached a maximum annual output of 36 million in silver in 1878. During the 1870s, however, the federal government limited the role of silver in the monetary system, causing a decline in silver prices, the closing of many Nevada mines, and the decay of once thriving communities into ghost towns. As mining declined, cattle ranching became a major industry. Beef prices, however, were unpredictable. High railroad rates were burdensome, and severe winters often killed thousands of cattle. In the late 1880s, many cow ranchers were forced into bankruptcy. With the depression of the mining and ranching industries, the state's population dropped from 62,000 in 1880 to 47,000 in 1890. Prosperity returned to Nevada only after the beginning of the 20th century, when rich silver ores were discovered near Tonopah. Tonopah? We're going to go with Tonopah. Rich silver ores were discovered near Tonopah, a major copper deposit around Ely and or Eli. When a major gold strike occurred at Goldfield, Thousands of miners answered the lure of these bonanzas, and the railroad built extensive branch lines to bring in equipment to the mining areas and haul out the ore. Accessible railroads and low shipping rates also encouraged cattle ranchers to renew large-scale production. Irrigation of fertile river valleys produced sizable hay crops. Thus assured of winter feed, ranchers further expanded their herds in the upland regions. World War I created demands for Nevada's beef and metals, which kept the boom going. But the failing markets of the 1920s brought the return of economic depression. Politically, during its first 3 decades as a state, Nevada was a Republican stronghold, reflecting the law standards in national politics. The state was often manipulated by corrupt politicians. Mine owners and ranchers frequently subsidized government officials, and there were accusations that rich men in the state had bought seats in the U.S. Senate. Monetary issues became of paramount importance in the 1890s, and the Silver Party grew out of the Free Silver movement, taking members from both Democratic and Republican parties, though mostly the latter. Hold on, there's like this random dude. Okay, so there was literally a random mailman walking like outside the building. So I'm at work right now. This is actually my office, and everybody left, but there was this random mailman who just walked across the parking lot, and I don't see his mail truck, so I have no idea where he is. But we're gonna go ahead and continue here. Um, let's see. So where was I? Okay, so Republican stronghold, corrupt politicians, yada yada yada. The norm, basically. The Silver Party grew out of the Free Silver movement, taking what is the Free Silver movement? Unlimited coinage of silver, silver dollar from the list of authorized code. Okay, so this is another silver thing. For some reason, like America just can't like make up its mind with silver. I don't know, like the whole JFK thing. Um, I don't know. It's really weird. Okay, so it says in the 1890s, candidates of the Nevada Silver Party won election to the U.S. Senate and House of Representatives and to the state governorship. By 1902, however, the silver issue had taken a backseat, and therefore the two major national parties were in control. As creation of a modern economy, Nevada became. You know what would be so sick is if you just had all silver jewelry. Like people get like gold, people get like diamonds, but it's like, what if you just had all silver? They just wore all silver and just made that your thing. That'd be really cool. I might do that in another life where when I actually have money. Not in this one. Okay, so Nevada began its transition to a modern economy during the Great Depression of the 1930s. After the legalization of gambling okay, here we go. 1931 and the reduction to 6 weeks of the resident requirement for divorce, Nevada became a marriage, divorce, and resort center. A marriage, divorce, and resort center. Construction of the Hoover Dam on the Colorado River substantially aided the economy of southern Nevada. I cannot read today. And its cheap hydroelectric power opened the way for manufacturing. The importation, hmm, the importation of hydroelectric power from the Bonneville Dam on the Columbia River and piped-in natural gas also brought industrial development in the northwestern region. Gambling was legalized statewide in 1931, and by the late 1930s, Reno had established as a tourist center and casino gambling destination. That's interesting. So they started gambling in Reno before Las Vegas was a thing. Organized crime syndicates also were attracted to Nevada by the potential profits from gambling and prostitution, which was regulated by to varying degrees but not prohibited from the earliest days of Nevada territory. A 1971 law allowed legal regulation of brothels in certain counties and prohibited them elsewhere. All other prostitution is illegal in the state. Members of the syndicates established gambling casinos in Las Vegas in the 1940s, and their enormous success led to an influx of legitimate developers into the city. All right, so it was I was today years old when I learned that Las Vegas was founded by gangsters. I didn't know that, but that makes a lot of sense. Um, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Who else would have founded it? It says in the 1950s, the establishment of the Nevada test site by the federal government expanded employment opportunities and stimulated the development of technical industries within the state. Overshadowing the new industrialization and fundamentally responsible for the current prosperity was the diversification and expansion of the tourist trade to include not only the gaming and entertainment facilities of the Reno and Las Vegas areas, but also the scenic and recreational opportunities statewide. Laughlin emerged as a tourist center in the 1980s, and Lake Tahoe much earlier as a fashionable playground. The principal resort area, Las Vegas, Reno. Hold on a second. I think it's the Meadows, right? Okay, Meadows. Um, what's really interesting is that if you were to say like that's to English. Um, I noticed this the other day. So you got the Meadows, right? The Meadows. Um, wait, what? Okay, it's not working. But Los Juegos is the games. So Los Juegos sounds a lot like Las Vegas. I just thought that was interesting. I don't know. I don't know. They did that on purpose. I don't know. Um, the principal resort areas: Las Vegas, Reno, Laughlin, and Lake Tahoe. Where is Lake Tahoe? Okay, it's like on the border. I was like, how did they have a lake in the desert? Okay, so it's like it's really in California. Okay. Um, go back here. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So the principal resort area, Las Vegas, Reno, Laughlin, Lake Tahoe, continue to attract tourists from elsewhere in the United States, particularly Southern California. Many international visitors. Las Vegas also hosts businesses and professional conventions. In the late 20th and early 21st centuries, Nevada was consistently among the fast-growing states in the country and often held a top position in that regard. Uh, Rapid growth continued to pose. They're acting as if like the 21st. This is the 21st century. Like, all right, they're like speaking in past tense. Rapid growth continued to pose considerable challenges for resource management and social services and healthcare, and other aspects of Nevada's society and economy. These run-on sentences. Okay, the proposed nuclear waste repositories to be located deep within the proposed nuclear waste repositories to be located deep within the Yucca Mountain was a source of controversy from the time the site was designated by the federal government in 1987. Okay, where is Yucca Mountain? Okay. So it's like northwest of Vegas. Okay, so what were you using this for? Nuclear waste repository? Opposition to the repository was strong amongst urban Nevadians, obviously. Uh, Majority of the residents of rural towns near Yucatan, however, favored the development of the repository because of the potential for job creation. That's all they got on Britannica. Alright, so we're gonna go history here. Let's see. Nevada is the seventh largest state. I didn't know that. Carson City in the western part of the state is the capital. Gambling is legal in Nevada and Las Vegas. The state's largest city is known internationally for its opulent casinos and as an entertainment destination. Nevada is also home. I read hooker. Nevada is also home to the Hoover Dam, which was the single largest public works project in the history of the United States. Lake Mead is the largest reservoir. The date of statehood, October 31st, 1864. 2.7 mil, 110,000 square miles. Okay, so Battleborn State, Sagebrush State, Silver State. What is sagebrush? Oh, okay. It's like so desert. It's like a desert plant. Ugh. Um, let's see. That's a nasty national flower. Mountain bluebird. Okay, so the national bird is the mountain bluebird. Oh, that's cool. That's so weird that this animal is blue. Like, what is making it blue? What it like? It's got to be something that it's eating that makes it that blue. That's kind of weird. Interesting facts. Let's see. Nevada's Berlin Ethosaur State Park contains the largest known Shonisaurus popularis ichthyosaur fossil. Man, what the heck is this? Oh, it's a water, like a shark. I was watching this thing yesterday, and they said sharks are older than trees. Uh, these extinct marine reptiles, which range from size 2 to 50 feet, swam the ocean that covered central Nevada. 2.2. How could you possibly know that? I don't believe any of this, for the record. 225 million years ago. Nevada was the first state to ratify the 15th Amendment, which gave African American men the right to vote. Hmm. All right, Nevada. Good for y'all. But you killed Tupac, so. Uh, Discovered near Virginia City in June 1859, the Comstock lode produced about $36 million worth of silver ore each year from 1876 to 1878. By 1882, the Comstock had produced more than $300 million in both gold and silver. They do not talk about that. They always talk about California, but they never talk about Nevada. Although legal between 1869 and 1910, gambling was banned in Nevada in October 1910. Much like the national prohibition on alcohol that soon followed, the law was largely ignored by machines as machines, wheels, and tables simply moved to more discreet locations. In March 19th, 1931, in the midst of the Great Depression, gambling was re-legalized. Yeah, because like, how do you ban You can't ban gambling. Like, you can't ban an activity. Um, Located in a remote desert northwest of Las Vegas, Area 51 was established in 1955 by the CIA to develop and test covert military projects. One of the projects resulted in Archangel 12 stealth plane, which traveled at speeds over 2,000 miles an hour, could traverse the continental U.S. in 70 minutes. After only a year in active service, the A-12 was decommissioned in 1968. What in the world? So this thing could go across the United States in an hour. So like, why would you need to go that fast though? So let's say, so how many miles across is the U.S.? Okay, so 2,800 miles. How many miles is diameter of Earth? Okay, so it did. So it's doing. No, this is crazy. This has nothing to do with Nevada, but this is crazy. So I don't know why this is loading so slow. Okay, so it's doing this in 70 minutes. So 7926 divided by this number is 2.8. So 2.8 times 70, okay, divided by 60. Okay, so that thing could circle the planet in 3 hours. That is absolutely insane. Okay, that is insane. Nevada is the fourth largest producer of gold in the world, following China, Australia, and South Africa. What about Australia? China, Australia, and South Africa. And supplies three-quarters of the gold mined in the United States. Wow. The federal government owns nearly 85% of all land within Nevada. Okay. In 1864, in an effort to hasten its admission to the Union, Nevada's entire state constitution was sent to D.C. by telegram. Interesting. Hmm. The more you know. All right, we got another article here. Jennifer Young, onlyinyourstate.com. Okay, so Area 51, we already know about that. Burning Man. Okay, I didn't know that was here. So it's held in the Black Rock Desert. All right, where is that? Oh, that's way up there. Okay. What else you got? Let's see what else we can learn here. Close up some of these tabs. Okay. Comstock load. Okay, we already heard about that. Dry heat. Nevada's heat is very dry. Oh, you don't say. Okay. Um, Entertainment capital of the world. Okay, you already said that. Fremont Street. Pedestrian mall in downtown Las Vegas. Light shows its main attraction. Ghost towns. That's kind of spooky. Why is there so many ghost towns? Why is there so many ghost towns in Nevada? Mining boom and bust era. Supply lawlessness and harsh conditions. Handful of residents still call these places home. 100 people live in the surrounding area, not in the historic downtown buildings. That's super sketchy. Okay, okay. So basically, because of mining and because weird people won't leave. Um, Hoover Dam is located in Black Canyon, Colorado River. Okay. Weird animal. Jarbidge Wilderness. Located within the Jarbidge Mountains in northern Elko County. That does not look like it's in Nevada. Kayaking. Truckee Wood. So this isn't like this is like a tourist guide. Is is the most mountainous U.S. state? I'm pretty sure that's Colorado. Neon Boneyard, located in Las Vegas, is a collection of vintage signs. I feel like I've heard of that. Open range. Nevada is an open range state. What does that mean? State that allows livestock to roam freely regardless of land ownership. In these states, livestock owners are generally not liable for any damages or injuries caused by their loose animals. Only Montana, Wyoming, Colorado maintain open range system today. Okay, so this article just lied to me. Pioneer Saloon is one of the oldest saloons in Nevada. Okay. Quilts. Quilting is a popular hobby among many Nevadians. Cool, dude. Yeah, this is just a tourist guide. All right. Let's see what else. What else? What else? What else? Okay, so we got a history of Las Vegas. On this article, casino.com has a history of Las Vegas. So it says a short history of Las Vegas, the evolution of Sin City. Few cities capture the imagination like Las Vegas. If a city was a celebrity, it would be a mix of Marilyn Monroe, Lady Gaga, and Gary Busey. Who is this? Is that Bussy? Gary Busey? Look at this guy's face. Oh, he's but that this is Buddy Holly? Alrighty. I'm about to do a BMAS on this guy. Um, let's see. So it says beautiful, larger than life, and slightly insane. Ah. Lots of Who wrote this article? Ross O'Connor. Las Vegas is a black hole of earthly delights, abandon, and pleasure, a gravitational singularity of sin. This corny thing here. Okay, the first inhabitants of Las Vegas arrived more than 10,000 years ago. Early Native Americans. Yeah. Okay. Mojave Desert. Got its name from the Santa Fe trader Antonio Armillo, who was trying to find a new route to Santa Fe from Santa Fe to Los Angeles. In 18, where's Santa Fe? Okay, so he was going from New Mexico to LA, and he was going through. They were going through Arizona probably, and then he was like, "No, we got this other place up here, and it's all silvery." Okay. In 1829, a 60-man party explored the area and discovered the Las Vegas Springs. This perfect resupply spot shortened the trail, and the traders named the valley the Meadows. Hmm. Until 1844, Las Vegas was a Mexican territory. Didn't know that. A fort was built in the valley, but that got, I mean, obviously it's a Mexican name. Okay, the fort was built in the valley but never permanently inhabited. In 1855, Mormons briefly settled the area but stayed only for 3 years. The first permanent settlers were prospectors Octavius Gass, who renovated the abandoned fort, turning it into a ranch and way station for weary travelers. In 1902, the railroad arrived, now with a reliable source of freshwater transport and accommodation for travelers and prospectors. The seeds of modern Las Vegas were sown. The Mormons would make it their home, and one of the world's most ambitious civil engineering projects would put Las Vegas on the map. Wait, the Mormons would make it their home. Is that a thing? Mormons in Las Vegas? What? The Mormon Mafia built. You cannot make this up. The Mormon Mafia built Las Vegas. Okay, there's a Mormon Mafia. Okay, so Howard Hughes um basically took over Las Vegas from the mob. It says why Mormons? Hughes liked them because they didn't drink, smoke, or gamble, which meant he could trust them not to succumb to the vices of Las Vegas and handle his business with discretion and integrity. I don't know how to feel about that. Um, I don't know if it's just me, but personally, I trust people who drink and smoke more than people who don't. People who don't drink or smoke, like that's such that's like this guy's face basically. Like there's just something off about that. Like you never drink or like you have no vices. Like what do? You just sit at home and just like sip tea? Who is this guy? Stephen Wynn was a small-time investor in real estate and a minority owner in the Frontier Hotel. E. Perry Thomas became a mentor to Wynn and helped him acquire his first big Vegas property, the downtown Gold Nugget Casino. Wynn went on to build many of the city's most prominent casinos, including the Mirage, Bellagio, and Treasure Island. He remains one of the most successful and high-profile figures in the international gambling industry. Is this Steve Wynn? Like he looks a bit off, you know? I don't know. Uh, let's see. Yeah. Corporate ownership helped create the new Las Vegas. Workaround for sinful gambling. Traditionally, Mormons have opposed gambling as acquiring money from the person who may be possessed of it without giving value received in return. But that hasn't prevented Mormons from helping turn Las Vegas into the largest gaming operation in the United States. In fact, many Mormons work in casinos in Las Vegas. The church's stance seems to be, "Don't touch the dice." I don't get. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Like these guys are weird. I don't get like why are you running Las Vegas? Like if you were gonna take it over for the sake of like it just seems like they took it over under this guise of like we're gonna clean all this up and they didn't clean anything up. Like it's still just the same thing. Like that's really weird. I don't know how to feel about that. Okay, so yeah, this I mean look, Mormons run Las Vegas, I guess. Really strange, but the more you know. Let's see. So says Las Vegas was officially founded as a city on May 15th, 1905, when railroad owner William Andrew Clark auctioned off 110 acres of land, which would become the downtown area. The term Sin City dates all the way back to 1906, originally referred to an area of Vegas called Block 16. This area was allowed to legally sell hard liquor and was frequently frequented by ladies of the night and their customers. Okay, so prostitution. Over time, the whole city of Las Vegas would become known as Sin City. The Golden Gate Casino claims to have been the first casino in Las Vegas. As the land is built on as the land it was built on was purchased in 1905. This establishment also lays claim to the city's very first telephone, as theirs was installed all the way back in 1907. Wow. Uh, let's see. In 1911, the city of Las Vegas was fully incorporated into Clark County, by which time it was a smaller settlement of about 1,000 people. The population would double again by 1920. Work began on the Hoover Dam in 1930, and thousands of workers headed to Fremont Street in search of showgirls, casinos, and somewhere to kick back after a hard day at the rock face. In 1941, the Western-style El Rancho Vegas Hotel and Casino opened. Costing a cool $500,000, the hotel had a mock Spanish-style frontage, a cowboy-themed interior, a swimming pool, and the largest dining room in town. In the casino, punters would enjoy auction at two blackjack tables and one roulette table, one craps table, and 70 slot machines. There's this thing, I think like the Mormons and the like Mexicans have beef. I was reading this one thing one time where like there was like this Mormon family who was like fighting a cartel. I'm gonna have to get into that at some point because I have no idea like why like it's like Mormon this Mormon that. Um. So yeah, I'm gonna keep reading here. It says to keep gamblers playing, the hotel also launched the first late night all you can eat buffet. Celebrities were also courted. Paul Newman married Joanne Woodward at the hotel. Shirley Bassey made her American stage debut here, and the El Rancho was visited by a wealth of Hollywood stars, including Jimmy Durante, Buddy Hackett, Jane Russell, Eartha Kitt, and Zaza Gabor. I have no idea who any of these people are. The El Rancho and other casinos built along Highway 91 would become known as the Las Vegas Strip. Okay. In the early 1940s and late 1960s, Las Vegas would undergo its most dramatic transformation from small-town travelers' rest stop to the entertainment and gambling capital of the world. The mob already had formed in Cuba. The mob had already formed in Cuba and knew how to run a tight casino. Las Vegas would open for business, and business was coming. In the mid-1950s, mobsters from New York, Chicago, Cleveland, Detroit, and St. Louis were running some of Sin City's most popular casinos, including the Sands, dang, Circus Circus was run by mobsters. Yo, this is so sketchy. This is so sketchy. The Dunes, the Desert Inn, and the Riviera. The casinos were cash businesses, allowing the mafia to skim money and avoid the taxman. So popular was this new Disneyland for adults that in 1955, more than 8 million people were visiting every year, generating casino revenues in the excess of $200 million. In 1956, a 21-year-old Elvis performed his first shows at the New Frontier Hotel. Here comes Howard. On Thanksgiving Day in 1966, a certain Texan billionaire called Howard Hughes moved into the penthouse. Okay, this is what we were talking about before. Penthouse suite at the Desert Inn Casino. He stayed there for 4 years, and in the late 1960s, he went on a $300 million spending spree, buying several Las Vegas hotels and casinos. The Nevada Gaming Commission was desperate to remove mafia influence and corruption from Las Vegas. That's not possible. It welcomed the arrival of Mr. Hughes and big business. I guarantee it didn't change anything. Hughes was perceived as a legitimate business by the Nevada Gaming Control Board. Um, if I know anything about mobs, you cannot get rid of them. You just can't. You just can't. Either they'll just like pack up and like find something else that they're interested in, or they're just gonna be there. It's the start of a new era. The corporations were moving in, bringing spectacle, scale, ambition, and the possibility of a family holiday in Las Vegas. In 1973, the MGM Grand Hotel and Casino were open. It was the world's largest resort. Every one of its 2,100 rooms a petite suite, with a gold star on the door. By 1975, gaming revenues had cracked the 1 billion mark. Dang. The population of Las Vegas was doubling every year. The city would evolve and become the largest of its kind founded in the 20th century. In 1989, Steve Wynn opened the Mirage. It was the first new Vegas hotel in more than a decade and heralded the beginning of the mega resort era. In the next decade, the Rio, Excalibur, Luxor, Stratosphere Hotel, New York, the Bellagio, Mandalay Bay, and the Venetian would all join the ranks of the newly reinvigorated Las Vegas. Today, there are more than 70 major Las Vegas hotels, owned by a handful of big players including Boyd Gaming, MGM Resorts, Caesar Entertainment, Golden Entertainment, Station Casinos, and of course Wynn Resorts. Modern Las Vegas is a triumph of ambition over reason. 6 of the world's largest hotels are located here. It would take you 288 years to stay in every hotel room in town, and it's the brightest place on planet Earth. Jeez. These days, Las Vegas is mass tourist destination. The glamour remains, but is harder to find and more expensive. Sin is still on the menu, but it sits alongside shopping malls, theme parks, and family shows. Sin is still on the menu is a crazy sentence. Gambling is still the city's raison d'etre. I don't know what the heck this is. Raison d'etre. I can't speak French, but it's easy to spend a fortnight in town without betting a cent. The famous Vegas Strip now runs for about 4.2 miles along a section of Las Vegas Boulevard and incorporates around 30 casinos, not including the many other venues nearly which bring the total number of casinos in Sin City up to around 60. In a land that celebrates free enterprise, the Vegas mega resorts are a testament to both competition and capitalism, a masterclass in architectural machismo, which each development more insanely over the top than its predecessor. Gondolas, pyramids, dancing fountains, and roller coasters built on top of a 277-meter tower. It's all real. You're not in Kansas, Dorothy. It's just Las Vegas. It's a good article, Mr. O'Connor. Okay. All right. So I think I learned everything I can learn in a short summary here. I'm gonna have to do a part 2 on this. There's a bunch of stuff that I know I didn't cover. I didn't even touch the Wikipedia page. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a part 2 on this.